Hello, everybody. Hopefully, I am live. We shall see if people pop up here. And I hope some people do, which means that I'm actually out there. We'll see what happens. Invite a few people. See what happens here. Ah, I see somebody's here. Okay. Hi, Toddy. Hello, daughter. How are you? Hi, Larry. Um, it looks just like you, Toddy. There you go. Uh, so I've been off. I've been off for a couple days, and it worked because I've missed doing this, and so now I'm back. And once again, been derailed. I will tell you that right now. Hi, Larry. I was planning on starting to talk about auditioning a bit because that's what people have been asking me about. Um, and yet, I have been derailed because my friend Owen, who I have spoken incessantly about, having started this, um, asked me a really interesting question. He said, "What is a good substitute for human physical contact?" Which seems fairly fitting today. Owen, now Owen's here, and I just brought up your question. What is a good substitute for human physical contact or physical human contact? I'm not sure which way you phrased it. So here's my short answer. There ain't one. Sorry about that. Um, I thought a lot about it, and it's sadly, there is no good substitute for that. And yes, we do what we can. We do these kind of things. We create a video where we're hoping that we're actually communicating and connecting with others. Um, and there's always that moment in the beginning that we're not sure if we're just talking to a camera on our computer or there's actually somebody out there listening and watching. Um, but as valuable as this is, and I do think it is, it's not the same. Let's face it, it's not the same, especially for those of us who grew up in a very touchy-feely family. Um, we always hugging and kissing and touching, just walking by each other and putting a hand on a shoulder or grabbing an arm or grabbing a hand. Um, that is something that we all, I think, miss now. And I think even if you weren't used to it before this all happened, you're probably feeling that right now. And I wonder if that's a bad thing. I do believe that things happen for a reason. I don't think the reason for the coronavirus is to remind us that we need each other, but it may be just bringing home the point of how important we are to each other and not just to talk, to communicate, because that's something that we can do. We can certainly do that. We can get on the phone, we can talk, we can do this on the computer, we can talk. Um, Hi, Kim, how are you? I love you. Um, but there is a difference between that physical human contact. And let's face it, for the most part, we've been without that for a while. I don't want to get into anything too controversial because that's not what this is for. But it does bring it up. A little more than 2 years ago, the Me Too movement started. a very important movement. I do want to make sure everyone understands that the reason for the Me Too movement, the impetus, Harvey Weinstein, um, it was a very important thing to bring up, and it still is an important thing to bring up. And inappropriate touching is a very important thing to avoid. Um, but I think it had the effect on a lot of us where we backed off completely. We became frightened to touch because we didn't want to be taken as an inappropriate toucher. Um, as I said, I grew up in a family of huggers, and over the last 2 years, well, before the last 2 years, um, I was used to hugging everybody. Would direct a show, and we'd start rehearsals by running around and hugging each other, and it has been a painful loss over the last couple of years. I've worked with some incredible groups of people um, who I would have loved to have greeted with a huge hug. And I'm not saying hugs have gone out the window, people are still hugging each other, but I've noticed that there are a lot more side hugs and shoulder pats. Um, I think that's a sad thing. When I used to teach um, acting workshops, one of the things I would have people do is hug each other. And invariably, a lot of people did what we called the A frame hug, which is hugging up here, and their bottom halves would, I'll get in here, their bottom halves would kind of do this kind of thing. Um, and one of the lessons was to stop doing that because that's not a real hug. That is your body telling you, stay away, don't get too close. Well, maybe, just maybe, getting close is the human condition. We're supposed to get close, and not just in a sexual way or a romantic way, but as a way of sharing our humanity. So maybe when this is all over, we'll be able to push that pendulum back a little bit and say, yes, respect each other's limits, but also respect each other's needs. And many people find great comfort, and I think more will, at this point, find great comfort in physical closeness, which is not a bad thing. And I know that as soon as I am able to, once the scare goes away, once the virus comes under control, I'm going to go out and hug as many people as I can because I do miss the physical contact. It gives us all strength and a sense of unity and a sense of community, and it is an important thing. Until then, we need to make do. We need to use our other abilities. We need to use our big boy words and our big girl words. We need to be able to not shelter our emotions and our needs. Um, it's a good thing to tell people that you care about them. I know, for one, I truly miss the people that I have worked with over the last several years. Um, I think everyone knew that we were close, that we enjoyed working with each other, that we were friends beyond the workplace. But not many of us talked about it. We said it through jokes and, as far as between the men go, insults, um, because that's the way we communicate and that's the way we show warmth and closeness. Um, but now, where that is not communicated as well over the airwaves, we have to be a lot more blunt about it. We have to say, I miss you. I care about you. You are an important part of my life. We have to share the bared soul of ourselves. Some people do it through song. Owen, you do it beautifully through song. Other people do it through philosophizing. I guess I'm basically centered in the mind more than anything else. Um, some people do it through their art. My friend Rick, who just joined us, I see, has been making daily movies, which is the most impressive thing in the world to me. To be able to not only come up with a fresh idea each day, but to give yourself the time to come up with the idea, to flesh it out, to make a movie of it, and then to be able to post it, and to do it with a quality and a sincerity and an honesty that touches other people. Um, so that's it. That's what we need to do. And we need to branch out. We need to try the things that we're not necessarily comfortable with so that we bare our souls even more. Um, so I'm going to end this because that's enough. Enough philosophizing on my part. Um, oh, where can you find the movies? Search for Rick Reichman. That's Reischman on Facebook. He's on Facebook. He has a YouTube channel as well. Rick, you're here. Plug your stuff to Owen. Um, and try the things that scare you. So I'm going to try that myself. I am not a singer. So be kind. And I'm not trying to take over Owen's steam. But this is a song that I would like to share with you because I think it has to do with what we're talking about. Be kind. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that called the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da dum, da 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 dum, da da da. So I hope you find the rainbow connection to keep you connected to others. In the meantime, wash your hands. Keep that distance between each other. Don't touch your face. And I love you all. Okay? Take care.